Sometimes I think the security in my building might be a little excessive. I have to go through 5 badges to get to my desk. I can't believe I did that. So, it looks like on episode 309 back in November, right after Daniel was born, I had 2 episodes with the exact same number. So I had 2 episode 309s, which meant that every episode between 309 and 362 are numbered off by 1. Let me tell you what I'm going to do about that. So I went through already on YouTube and I retitled every single video, and I wrote a little note like, this video was originally published as number 351. So now the YouTube titles are all correct in terms of the sequence, but embedded in every video, as you've seen, is the episode number. So they're just gonna be off. I can't do anything about that because YouTube doesn't let you republish the same videos, and I don't want to delete all the videos and then republish them. I think that'd be kind of a waste of time, and I don't even know if I could with how Adobe Clips kind of saves the project files. So I'd have to like remake all those vlogs, and that's not happening. So we're just gonna have to live with the bad numbering. My shame will live on for eternity on YouTube, and maybe to make up for it, I'll do a couple projects, or I want to show you a couple projects that I've been working on today. So this first project I want to tell you about has to do with gaming. I love both playing, building, understanding, discussing anything to do with games, especially computer games and board games. So I'm working on porting an old Python game that I built over into JavaScript and building it using Angular for the web. And so the first part, and probably the most hard part of this, was I've been experimenting with different game frameworks. I tried a framework called Three.js, I tried a framework called Phaser, and none of them are perfect, right? None of them have all of the closeness to the web that I'm looking for in terms of being able to use click events and drag drop and cursors and CSS and zooming and all those things. They're all kind of an abstraction layer, which I understand, but then that abstraction layer doesn't have all the features that I want. And so I'm trying to build it as close as possible to the web using TypeScript, using JavaScript, using divs. So I experimented with using SVGs. I experimented with rendering myself directly to a canvas using kind of 2D drawing, a little bit like I do in the Python application. But at the end of the day, I ended up just using SVGs and divs and components. So we're gonna see how this works out. I've shared out the link for this hex grid on Twitter, but now I'm gonna add in all the gameplay methodology, like how do you set up a new game and how do you assign territories and how do you capture territory, all those things. Those are coming hopefully in the next few weeks. So HexSlayer is leaving Android and leaving Python, and it's coming to the JavaScript world. Here you can see the Python version that's just running on my local desktop. You get these little villagers, you can drag them around, and you can see what this is gonna look like on the web now. Very similar kind of rendering, but using web native, these are all divs. I can just position things a little bit more easily than handling kind of native canvas rendering. But I do have to port all of the Python game logic code from this application up into the web. So that's going to be an interesting part to see what I learned from that transition. The other project that I've been working on is the Demos with Angular channel. So I posted a nice new video on Google Analytics with Tag Manager, and as I mentioned, one of the things I did a little bit differently this time is that I turned on monetization. So looking back at the stats, I made 53 cents. So I think monetization is not going to be a valid strategy for this channel, so I'll probably just turn off monetization and keep making videos. Obviously, I think they're worth a lot more than that, but they're worth a lot more from that in the perspective of speaking engagements and connections and empowering the community and connections to my day job at Google. So I think it all makes a lot of sense to be doing these videos still, just not for the YouTube monetization directly. Earlier today, I shared my hex grid layout ideas on Twitter, and one of the responses I got was from a developer that's doing some work at Nintendo, and she's like, maybe I should build games with Angular. That is such a cool kind of reaction. That's exactly what I was hoping for by sharing this tiny bit of code. I have worked out, I have edited and published the vlog. Things are going really well tonight. Now it's time to calm things down a little bit and help Daniel go to sleep. Good night.